Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tough Love. It's Mario J. Come on in. I just figured I'd come live real quick with you guys. You know what I'm saying? And have a conversation. See what's on y'all mind. Hopefully y'all having a good night. Or if it's daytime, depending on where you are, what time zone you in or whatever. So I wanted to see what you guys had on your mind to talk about. I figured this would be a great opportunity to have some downtime to kill. So I figured this would be a great opportunity to see what was on y'all mind. I know I normally come, with some hot topics, but I figured, this would be a great opportunity to see what's on, the viewer's mind and see what you guys wanted to talk about. So again, I'm saying, I'd like to welcome you guys to Tough Love. This is Mario J. Hopefully you've been checking up on me. Hopefully you've been checking a couple of videos that I posted. I've been really kind of firing off a couple out of videos, trying to be consistent, so that way you guys can kind of get a perspective of what this page is all about. So I got my lemon water, lemon lime, and peppermint. Pretty good, pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay hydrated, work out a little bit. So what's on your mind? Anybody have any topics that we can discuss for a little while? What's on your mind? That's what I want to know. Feel free to come in, hit the like button, share, so that way we can kind of get some more people in the conversation. Let's see here. Just to speak a little bit. Hopefully, y'all can hear me a little bit better. So, what y'all doing out there tonight? What's going on out there tonight? Let me reply back to this. Okay. So you guys excited about this the talk about this stimulus check, this second stimulus check, or y'all be like, y'all over it? Who's who who's over the whole stimulus check talk conversation or whatever case be? I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I'm a little bit over the conversation. I feel like that's something that should have happened the first time. They should have just issued all of that money one time, got it out the way or whatever. Um, Yeah, I'm kind of over it too. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just kind of drawn out right now, whatever. Let me ask y'all a question. I appreciate you hitting the like button. Let me ask y'all a question. How many people believe that this coronavirus is a real thing? How many people believe that this coronavirus is like a real thing? It's a real pandemic. Like this is something to take serious. We need to have our masks on. We need to practice social distancing. Or do you feel like this is something that's, just being promoted by the government so that way we can, we can be in fear? I think a lot of people are saying that or whatever case may be. Um, they should have done it all a while ago or since they passed. It's like, yeah, that, yeah, I definitely believe that this whole stimulus check thing should have been just knocked out. I think that people have now taken this. uh I don't think they take it serious, to be honest with you. I think they're just blowing the money on Amazon or whatever else they could buy and then calling it a day. I don't think it's no real money to really pay no real bills, to be honest with you. But with this coronavirus thing, hey, she said, "Good evening. Yes, there are dead people in graves. It's real." Okay. I think it's one of those situations when if you don't see it directly, if you don't see it right in your face, if it's not close to home, you kind of have to guess or second guess what's going on or whatever. And I've kind of seen a lot of things on social media where it's kind of like been, what, I ain't taking that serious. That's not serious. Or it's been like you said, hey, this is something real. This is something to take serious. But the thing about it is, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been told, and I could be wrong, but I've been told that a lot of people that are dying, they're not dying from the coronavirus. Like they were sick from something else, and they've been, it's being reported that they died from the coronavirus. And I think that's crazy if that's happening. That's crazy to up the numbers for the coronavirus. Like if you're dying from a heart attack or you're dying from something else, we're gonna say you died from the coronavirus. We're gonna add that to the numbers. I think that shit crazy. I think that shit's crazy and that shit's scary. How many people are talking to their children now that they, it's a question about them going back to school? Are you talking to your children about this coronavirus thing? Like, is your household taking this coronavirus thing serious? I know in my household, I have a teenager, and decided not to let her go back to school, that she's going online or whatever. And it's like, we get a chance to have a conversation every now and then. And I was like, hey, do you miss school? And all of the, the things that we do as parents. But it's I think it's interesting that, do you think the kids are taking this serious? You know, I might say yes, even the doctors that have said it. Like when you go to the hospital, there are charts, has coronavirus. And they have to delete it if not, if it's there. Yeah, this is a tricky thing. This is a tricky thing. What do you guys feel about the children being home from school, like doing the homeschool type thing or whatever? Is it different? Is it different? Because it's interesting, because I think the coronavirus has done, even though it's a pandemic and it's been a bad thing for a lot of people, I think that it's forced a lot of people to be parents. Like, it's forced a lot of people to have to adult up. Like, let me make sure you're doing your homework. Let me make sure that you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing to learn. I think a lot of parents have gotten away from that. You know, my son is 2.5, and I've been waiting, but I'm thinking putting him in daycare for friends, but still going back. My son is young though. Yeah, I mean, I think that this whole, I think that this pandemic has forced parents to have to actually be parents, to actually have to make sure that their children are doing the things that they're supposed to do in regards to their schoolwork. And I think it's interesting, because normally, what was your day like with your child? Like, you wake up in the morning, you may or may not eat breakfast with your kid, or you may already be off to work, or they may be already off to school. So you really didn't have that interaction. Then you come home about 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock, and then, hey, they're there. You may ask them if they did their homework. You may not. You may not even see them. But it's interesting when this pandemic has forced you guys to stay around each other. How many people had to relearn their kids? Like, relearn how to court, like, to talk to them and communicate with them or whatever. I think I'm finding that out a lot. Let me do something real quick. I think I'm finding that out a lot, that people had to relearn their children. You know what I'm saying? I think it's been different. Home or not, bills ain't stopped. Definitely for those people that, and here's the thing, for those people that have been out of work. Some people have been out of work since late February, early February, and haven't been working. So they have to rely on the unemployment check. And then some people just had the benefit, grace of God, that they've been able to transition to home and work from home. So for those people, hey, kudos for you. But I mean, think about it. Think if you're one of those people that you're having to wait for the unemployment check to come, and now you have to budget your money, like, seriously budget your money. I think I'm telling you, I think that this pandemic has forced a lot of people to have to adult up, to have to really look at what they're doing with their money. The money that you once had in regards to just spending it, just, spare money. I think now it's kind of like, oh, we can't splurge how we used to do. We got to look at the things that, is going on and say, okay, hey, do we got groceries? Okay, we got to cover the bills. Do we pay the bills in advance? So there's a lot of conversation that's probably happening right now in people's homes. And, a lot of people are not fortunate to be able to have the funds to take care of themselves or their children. And I think that's sad. And that's why I thought it was such a crazy that the government was waiting so long to send this second check for people. I was like, hey, what's the holdup? And why didn't you just send everything at once and say, hey, y'all do what y'all need to do to support y'all families? But it's difficult. It is difficult out here. It is difficult. There's a lot of things going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been kind of covering the whole Jacob Blake situation. A lot of people have reached out to me. I was very surprised, to be honest with you. A lot of people have been reaching out to me in regards to what has happened. I did a video talking about the Jacob Blake. If you guys don't know, that's the gentleman in West Wisconsin that was shot 7 times in front of his 3 children inside his vehicle. And I don't want to go off for no racial rant or anything, but I just found it very interesting that a lot of people, because from my understanding, this gentleman was unarmed, but it was a lot of people, conservative friends that I have, and it was like, hey, he had a knife. Hey, he was going to get a gun. And I was like, check this out. Send me the proof. Send me the proof. And still I haven't received any proof. I haven't received nothing. But it's all of these videos of this guy, not only talking about his police record, but saying that he had a knife. And it's just interesting to me, because I would think that if I had a knife and I was tussling with the police, that either they're going to get stabbed or I'm going to accidentally stab myself, because you're telling me one guy that has one arm tussling with two or three policemen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Drew, what's going on? I seen y'all over there rocking out over there. I have to get on one of those panels. I didn't know what y'all was talking about, but y'all seemed like y'all was rocking out. But I just thought that was interesting. They were saying that the guy was armed, and I was like, it's interesting that no knives were recovered. No gun was recovered, like no photo or no gun, no photo or no knife. So I thought it was interesting. Let's see. It says, my thing is, why didn't they just tase him and put him on the ground? Now, from my understanding, they did tase him. Now, I don't know if that pissed him off. I don't know what type of He-Man strength he had, but for some reason, it didn't stop him. I'm just saying, looking at the video, being prior military, I was a combat veteran as well. And I'm just saying, if I wanted to subdue someone, I would have subdued them. I don't know if we would have used. I mean, it's an escalation of force. I'm gonna shoot you in the leg. I'm gonna shoot you in the arm. I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna try to tackle you. But it was just the video seemed funny to me, and me personally, I just don't like the fact that we can make it a black and white thing, or we can make it a human thing. And I felt like when you dehumanize someone, I just have such an issue with that. I just have such an issue, because the first thing we do is say, well, this guy had a criminal record. And I'm saying that, was he, in the moment, was he a criminal? Or was he a father? Was he a person? Was he a human? And I just felt like, depending on where you live at, it's how you treat it. Depending on what you look like, it's how you treat it. And I think there's a lot of people that want to ignore that fact, because they fit into a narrative in society. They fit into a narrative where they have a lot of Caucasian people. And here's the thing, and it's no knock towards Caucasian people, but let's be honest, man. Caucasian people do not like to talk about slavery. They do not like to talk about systematic racism. They do not like to talk about mass incarceration. What they want to talk about is everything cool? Everybody's saying America is great. You know what I'm saying? We may have our problems, but let's not promote anything racial. And I think that, when things like this happen, you can't help but look at the race card. You can't help but look at it, especially when you have people that scream, let's look at his background. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to remember in my lifetime, have I ever seen so many people say something about somebody's background when they die? Like, that should be the tell-all, be-all of who that person was in that particular moment. It's like, if I go out right now and I get into a car accident, and I die, and let's just say, let's just say I was drinking, or whatever case may be, or it was alleged that I was drinking or whatever. And then what happens is my record comes out, my military record comes out. So he's a vet. But suppose I wasn't a vet. Suppose I was, suppose I did jail time. And because I did jail time, it almost makes my death like, no one should care about my death. No one should talk about it in regards to saying, why did I die like that? Or why did I deserve to die like that? And it's like, to me, I feel like we make excuses on, a person's character based on flaws that have happened to them in the past. And I just feel like that's messed up. I just feel like that's messed up or whatever. But again, this is viewer's choice. What do you guys want to talk about? What are some things that's on y'all mind right now that y'all want to talk about or whatever? Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Mario J. This is Tough Love. I decided to go live just because I had some time to blow, and just wanted to see what was on you guys' mind or whatever case may be. So, what are some topics that you guys feel like, hey, you know what? Hey, let's talk about this. Let me get a deep dive into this situation. You know, if y'all see me drinking something, I swear it's not alcohol. It's lemon, lime, and peppermint water. It's good. So it is what it is. So, what do y'all want to talk about? Man, y'all slow on them keys right now. Y'all really slow watching me drink water. Y'all watching me drink water. What y'all want to talk? What y'all want to talk about? Huh? What do y'all think about those NBA players, LeBron James and them, protesting? What do y'all think about? Do you think that the NBA, or you think that celebrities or athletes should protest? Do you think it's worth, like? Do you think that them protesting is worth it? Like, these guys are for the most part, thousandaires, millionaires, or whatever case to be. Do you think that they should protest, or do you think that uh, being an activist and being an athlete is two separate narratives? My thought process on that, first of all, I appreciate um, people using their platform to uh, bring light to situations. Um, Drew says it's two separate narratives, and but like I was saying, I appreciate anybody that saying uses their platform, because you run a risk of. Here's the thing: if I am a celebrity, I am a politician, I'm an actor or whatever, athlete, and I start talking about my personal beliefs, people tend to choose sides. See, it's easy to get a lot of support when people don't know where you stand politically, when you stand spiritually. You know, it's normally a cut dry line. Hey, I believe in God. Hey, make sure you get out there and vote. But when you start picking and choosing, let's say, okay, well, I believe in not the Bible but the Quran. I believe in not God but Allah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a Christian, but I'm a Pentecostal. Like, I'm not a Republican, but I'm a Democrat. Like, when you start talking separation, when you start talking individualism, and you start saying, I am this is my belief, I think that's when you start to draw the line. And I think that, it's very difficult, and you run a risk, especially when you're an athlete, a celebrity, an actor, etc. You run the risk of people judging you, which is why a lot of athletes and politicians, they don't say anything. They're not out front. But I think that LeBron James, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that the LeBron James, he realizes his worth, and I'm sure it's worth a lot, and I'm sure that it's going to be difficult to take the face of the NBA, which he is, um, and say, well, you won't play basketball no more. Like, so I feel like he's kind of untouchable right now to a certain degree, like Beyonce. I feel like, everyone is kind of like in this pro-black prolific mode, and it's kind of like it's difficult to say, oh well, this is what you not gonna do. I think it's difficult. I think it depends on who you are. But yeah, it's definitely two separate narratives, and it all depends on where you at in the positioning. Um, what was the guy that walked out on the sports show today? Kenny, was his name Kenny or something? Um, Jules says, let's talk about how black men and women can have better dialogue with their perspectives in order to bridge the miscommunication and misunderstanding we have towards one another. Girl, you better stop. You better stop trying to make me talk like that. Okay, let's talk about it. Um, um, what's so funny, man? About I want to say about 2 years ago, I I started off on social media kind of slowly or whatever, and I started off wrong. You know what I mean? I started off wrong, and I was trying to do these videos, and I was reaching out to other YouTubers that I felt like had bigger platforms or whatever. I was reaching out to YouTubers that was kind of like uh, very keen on the things that they were like. They had their own niche. Like you had some YouTubers that was like, I give advice to only women. You had some YouTubers that I give advice to only men. You had some women that said, I give advice to only women. I give advice to only men. So everybody had their niche. And so I was reaching out because I was very passionate about how can we, use these big platforms to talk to men and women to bridge the gap, and I kind of consider myself to be the common denominator, which I still do. And I made a mistake because um, it's almost like what I was saying before. When you choose a side, when you make a stand and you say this is what I'm about, it's hard to deter. Like if I say, I have an issue with all black women, then I can't go back and say, well, some black women are good. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fit the narrative. If I say if I'm a person and I sit here and I encourage all women, and I say, and I constantly tell women how bad men are, I can't then go back and say, well, not all men. It's almost like you have to fit a narrative on YouTube, which is crazy to me. So I decided to take a couple years off, work on my MBA, and then come back or whatever case may be. But I noticed that some of those people are doing the same things. And it's to me, I feel it's kind of gimmicky, but I also feel like it's not building up men and women. I feel like the divide between men and women is even bigger, especially when you have, a racial divide. So not only do you have black people versus everybody else, you have black men versus black women. So where they should be united, you have people inside the black community that deliberately delivers messages to black women to say, you know what, hey, these black men ain't doing what they supposed to do. They ain't stepping up like they supposed to step up. They ain't protecting you like, and they preach that and they preach that and they preach that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they've gotten good at it. And you have some women that's out here, and that's their money maker. They find men, and they be like, hey, let me point holes and poke holes or whatever. And it's a constant back and forth. And I really do believe that, first of all, when you take advice from people, you take it with a grain of salt. Okay. um, Never listen to anyone with one-sided information. That means if you always come to Mario J Tough Love and I'm always downplaying women, I'm Joe, what I mean? I'm always like, I'm always downplaying men. I'm always downplaying white people. I'm always downplaying black people. You tend to think somewhere that's okay. Now it's one thing to be entertaining. Like I can curse with the best of them. Like I can be articulate with the best of them. I can give you facts. We can lay out statistics. We can do this all day. But when you have someone that says, let's play both sides. Let's be common denominators. Let's see what actually works. That makes sense. And I think what you're saying is, how can men and women build together? First of all, they got to trust each other. They got to trust each other. There's a lot of toxic people out here that have been in toxic relationships for quite some time, and they're toxic themselves. We have a lot of people being encouraged by so many things on social media. We got love and hip hop people. It's like, hey, that's how relationships supposed to go. I'm supposed to put on my big chain. I'm supposed to put on my do rag and this. People rely on texting versus talking, ad libs versus conversation, one night stands versus relationships, he say, she say versus facts. So these are the things that separate how we build. Just as prominent as we get to talk about police brutality, how passionate we are, like, oh, hell no, no, hell no. We should be as prominent and passionate to talk about actually unifying and being together. I believe that, the black community has a lot of challenges to overcome. And I believe that people in society, I think that there are some people that's finding a niche. There are some people that's in a melting pot where they have white people, black people, Korean people, Japanese people, Brazilian people. Like, they're in a melting pot. They find themselves in a niche where it's love, it's happiness, it's fun, it's breathtaking. It's like, wow, you're an artist. Wow, you're an engineer. Wow, you're this, you're a teacher. Like, they find themselves in that niche. And I think that we stay, it's a lot of people who stay in our own little bubble and they never get out of it. Like, it's a lot of people from where I'm from New York. But it's a lot of people who never get out and explore and talk and deal with other people. That's why it's so easy to manipulate them. It's so easy to tell someone that live in a borough of New York and be like, oh yeah, them people that's over there, whoo, they're all racist. Them people over there, them people over there. And it's like, when you hear that, you grow up with that, it manifests, and that's what you teach your children. And it's an ongoing cycle, which is the reason why a lot of people don't leave these bad neighborhoods. And it's a repetitive cycle. By the time I'm 15, 16, I now got a kid. By the time I'm 25, 22, 21, 20, 26, 27, I'm now partying with my kids. It's crazy. I think that to provide you not only tough love, but common sense conversation. It doesn't have to be big words. It don't have to be stars and quasars. It just got to be real. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I ain't think about it like that. Like, I had a lot of people, this whole Jada Smith, Will Smith situation, this entanglement or whatever. There was a lot of people hitting me like, why are we still talking about this shit? And but I felt, and I still feel like, that was a good example of men and women in a marriage that can have a situation and still be able to come and have dialogue without calling each other names. I'm telling you, as a black man in America, that felt so good to me. That felt so good to me, just to see them sit there, and it's like, man, wow. You know what I'm saying? He didn't call her out of her name one time. It was a little deflection. It was definitely some deflection. But the fact of the matter is, these grown people were able to sit down and actually have a conversation. And to me, if I was their children at some point in time, I'd be like, that's how it's done. And that's how, hey, bad marriages for life. And again, being celebrities, we may not, we're going to have an opinion, us, the onlookers, the bystanders, or what, I mean, that's what we do. But the fact of the matter is, I'm glad that example was out there, because we need those type of examples. We don't need the name calling. We don't need the throwing of the bottles and the pulling of the hair and all of the other craziness. We need people being able to sit down at the table and have a conversation. Jules says, let's talk about the things we say we want versus what we really want. For example, men say they want a modest wife, but consistently consistently like twerking videos. This is just an example. Or how many women can say they want a marriage, but are the leading gender initiating. Okay, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is you're gonna get it raw from me. I like twerking videos. Let me raise my hand. But it's a time and a place for everything. It's a time and a place for everything. I think that a lot of people feel like Instagram models are winning, and I think that on the surface they are. I think that on the surface, when it comes to social media, whoo, they winning. But I think there is a value in the people that you don't see on social media that are just as fine as the Instagram models. Me personally, I like a girl that don't have to wear a whole lot of makeup. Hey, let's shoot the Walmart real quick. It don't take you an hour to get ready. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go, let's go to the pool. I ain't getting my hair wet. Like, ladies, you have to find a man that appreciates you for you. But you can't devalue him because an Instagram model that caught his eye. Catching his eye and someone he wants to marry is different. It's different. And you got to understand, a man that continues to go after Instagram model is never going to be satisfied. If you're going, just like, okay, let's break down some shit. I'm about to bring the WAP into it. Here we go. Here we go. Carly B. Okay. Carly B in her marriage. How many times has she addressed infidelity? A lot of people say you can't judge Carly B because she's a certain type of way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and she's just trying to sell records. And I get all that. But let me ask you something. If you're attracted to women that look a certain type of way, that act a certain type of way, then you always have to be that way, because when you're not that way, the person you with is steadily looking for other people like that. And it's an ongoing process. Find someone that's happy with you. Ladies, find someone that loves your bald headed ass, that loves your ugly feet, that loves your ashy, crusty back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm playing. I'm playing. But I'm just saying, you gotta find somebody that likes you for you, and you got to make sure that you have the intimate conversations when necessary, to see what their mind is. But I think to get back to what you said, it's like, hey, some guys talk a good game. And for those times, what I'm saying, it's really hard to decipher if they're real or if they're fake or whatever case may be. I can tell you, only from my point of view, I believe that it's the same thing with women. I'm gonna be honest with you. You'll find a woman that says, I'm not like this person and I'm like that, not like that. But as soon as something happens, you're displaying the same traits. You're doing the same shit. So I would tell you, before you be head over heels for a situation, to examine the situation and then find out if that situation is really what you really want. It's really where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Ask the hard questions. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that, you kind of test the waters of your relationship. And what I mean by testing the waters of your relationship, hey, fellas, you know what I'm saying? Take her to the pool on the first date or the second date. You know what I'm saying? See if she gonna get her hair wet. You know what I'm saying? See if she, hey, hey, pop up on her and say, hey, we gonna go over here real quick or whatever. See how long it take her to get ready. Like, the things that would piss you off or the things that would shake you or rattle your situation later down the line, bring them shits up front. Ladies, at this point in time, you know the things that you're looking for. So test the man. Invite him over, have a trash can full, see if he gonna take it out. You know what I'm saying? Miss D, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? You have to come up with the test for your significant other. I can't write your test because the things that's important to you are the things that you should test your significant other on. If you value mowing the grass or whatever case may be, okay, let the grass grow and invite them over and see if they offer to fucking cut your grass. You have to put them through the test. And I'm not talking about an SAT. I'm talking about a simplified test to see if they possess the simplicity that you're looking for, the consistency that you're looking for. Are they texting you or are they calling you? Are they spontaneous or are they not? Is their sex game good or is it weak? You know what I'm saying? Do they give good head or do they not? Huh? What's going on, you, Kate? So I mean, you have to put people through a test, and when you put them through that test, you got to make sure, hey, you're willing to be patient enough to make sure that they pass it. So my point exactly. When you know your worth and stay looking your absolute best every day for yourself, not your man. If he love you and don't want to lose you, then he will fall. Exactly. My thing about it is, ladies and gentlemen, let me be realistic with you. I want y'all to like this real quick. Like this and share this real quick. I'm about to drop a nugget on y'all real quick. Okay. Stop losing yourself in relationships. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Y'all about to get me started. Stop losing yourself when it comes to relationships. If you was a person who liked to go out, go out. If you was a person who liked to go to the strip club, go to the strip club. If you was a person that liked to go golfing, go golfing. If you was a person that liked to get your hair done, keep your hair done. If you was a person that liked to work out, work out. Stop losing yourself inside situations. How many girlfriends and boyfriends we got when they get out the situation? Oh, girl, I'm about to do me now. Yo, man, I'm about to do me now. Why you wasn't doing you in a relationship? People say there's a manner of give and take, and we get that, definitely. There's a manner of a sacrifice, but it's not sacrifice to the death. It's not sacrifice to 0% of who you were before. Because as soon as you get out that relationship, you're so wanting to rediscover who you are. And I'm telling you right now, you are going to be the reason your relationship fails. Listen to me. You're going to be the reason your relationship fails, because instead of living your best life and being your best self, you decided, oh, I'm going to just fall back. I ain't going to be me no more. Well, they got with you because you were you. They got with you because you were spontaneous, because you was funny, because you was cool. But then it's like all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna mope around the house. I'm just gonna fuss. I'm just gonna, complain about this. I ain't gonna do this, so I ain't gonna suck your dick no more. Like, okay, what you gonna do? Somebody else will. I mean, you got to think about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's some people just in toxic relationships. It's some people that's in such toxic relationships that they don't even realize how to get out of it. They don't even realize how to get out of it because they didn't know when it got toxic. Like, what the fuck? It's like they was in the eye of the storm, and once that shit started passing, it was like, oh, what did I get in this mother? So it's you got to make sure that you stay grounded. You got to make sure that you stay grounded. You got to make sure that Jules says, talk about people's lack of willingness to take their healing into their own hands. They blame everyone for their toxic behavior and lack of healing. Oh my God. Can I get some water? I know this is a black show. Y'all don't want me to drink water. That's a good one. Hold on. Let me tell you something. I know for a fact that when you're dealing with a person, that has personal issues, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's professional or personal in nature, the relationship. But when you're dealing with that person and they have issues, there's always going to be an issue in the situation. Case in point. Um, if you're not happy with yourself, 9 times out of 10, what you do is you look up and down and you look all around to your left and right, and you start examining certain things about yourself, and you be like, well, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, and that it's depressing, it's downing. And after you get depressed, right, after you bring yourself down, and after you cry about it, after you think about it all night, after you have your panic attacks, you know what comes next? Anger. Anger. But you're not mad at yourself. You're not mad at yourself. You're mad at everybody around you, because everybody around you is more successful, seems more happy, seems to be more jipper than you are, seems to have a productivity that you don't have. So it's like when you're dealing with someone who doesn't understand their value, their worth, they've lost it some type of way. And you can do whatever you can read the books, you can motivate them, you can whatever, but they're going to find an issue with what you're doing. They're going to find an issue because that's who they are. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some people don't realize that those are the type of people you let go. Now you can fight for them if you got the energy to, but you got to remember that the more energy that you give a situation, the less energy you have for yourself. So if your energy time and time and time again goes into, well, let me motivate you to do something, let me pump you up to take the first step. It's like, well, what do you have for yourself? What do you have left for yourself? And I think what happens is then you have one toxic person that's insecure, then you develop another toxic person that's insecure, and you both sorry motherfuckers go into the next relationship thinking like, and it's up to the next people to heal you. And what Jewel was saying, I think that, yeah, we need to be responsible for self-healing. First of all, stop jumping into relationships. When you leave a situation, stop jumping into the next relationship ASAP. Like, I was in this relationship. We see it on social media. Oh, I just got me a new one, y'all. Monday. Friday, oh, that ain't work out. Saturday, new relationship. People feel like they need the affirmation, the validation, uh, the companionship of someone instead of loving themselves, instead of finding something that makes them happy internally, or a hobby or something. It's always relying on someone else to make you smile. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm a personal believer. You know what I'm saying? I personally seen this. Like, you can't rely on someone else to make you happy. You can't rely on someone else to make you smile. You got to live your own fucking life. You got to be happy about your own shit. Because if you're not, you're constantly going to blame other people. Like, you're constantly going to point out the things that they doing, but you're never going to look at the shit that you're doing. I mean, that's real shit. Let me get back to this. Let me see. I hate the insecure relationships, the ones calling and texting all day and FaceTime all day. I mean, damn, save some to talk about later in the day. True that. True that. I mean, this is definitely a text. This is a text society. You know what I'm saying? I think we can. Some people who love the multitask, like, okay, I can go this text message, and now and I get that. But I think that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we need to encourage the people that we're messing with. We need to remind them that, you're a different breed. Like, hey, feel free to call me. And this ain't that, what is it? You can't raise a man. He's already grown. What you gonna do? Like, this ain't that situation. This is a situation that's just about simple communication. If this is something you like, this is something that you appreciate, then feel free to tell the person that you're dealing with, this is something I like. This is something I like. Okay, we in the movie theaters. Feel free to do what you got to do. I'm just saying, if this is something you like, then hey, you know what I'm saying, do it. But I think we get confused when people start not doing what we hope they do, and we don't have the integrity to tell them, well, you ain't doing what I don't like. I mean, you're not doing what I like, and then you sit around frustrated. Instead of just telling the person, what you do is you go to social media, you send subliminal messages, you tell your girlfriend, you tell your mama, you tell your daddy, you tell your brother, you tell everybody except the person you're dealing with. I got a good one. Please talk about toxic masculinity and fake femininity. Okay. Some men being disrespectful and alpha. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you all have to realize that a lot of men grow up without father figures. A lot of people use their coach, their pastor, a friend of the family, an uncle, and they become their role models. And for that reason, a lot of those people that become role models, whether it could be a drug dealer, who knows, those people don't have a clue. So they're teaching the people that you're now dating, and they don't have a clue. And then there's a lot of men who come to where they are based on how they stumbled through life, based on the relationships that they've been in. Okay, this person ain't like that. That person like this person ain't like that. And they develop this core function. Like, okay, this is how I'm going to be with these women. You know what I'm saying? This is what I think will work with these women. And I think that you become hardened. Like when you work, when you look at these shows that's on TV right now, there are not a lot of shows right now that show men how to treat women, that don't objectify them, that don't disrespect them, that don't put them in harm's way or whatever the case may be. There's not a lot of shows like that. So when you sit down and you watch these shows, it's like, oh, that's what they like. Okay, I'm on it. And it's a lot of women, I'm saying, right now. It's like, okay, well, hey, I'm a boss, and it's like, okay. Like, you're a boss, but you don't have no employees, you don't have no EIN number. Like, I mean, what you the boss of? Because everybody is the boss of their life. So what are you the boss of? So it's like we've gotten so caught up in titles, whether it's the alpha male, whether it's the boss chick, whether it's femininity, masculine. We've got so caught up in these titles, and we project so much that you never really get to the real person. Some people just want to be loved. Some people just want to, have a good time and just chill and let down their hair and not put on a front. But when you're in a community that it's all about putting on a front, it's all about keeping up with the Joneses, you're never going to be in a realistic relationship. You're never going to be happy. You ever notice when people, I think the older you get, the more secluded you want to be. You ever notice the older you get, the more secluded you want to be? Like when you go on a trip, like I don't want to be around all them people. Like, hey, let's go over here. Like because you don't want to have to put on a fake smile. You don't want to have to put on a lot of different clothes. Like you just want to be with you, your significant other, drinking pina coladas on the beach and just chilling. You ever notice like it's different levels to this shit? You see what I'm saying? A lot of people, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go in the middle of the club and I'm gonna be selfies and and it's like, I wonder, are these people really having fun? You ever think about that? Like, I wonder, are these people, like when people go out and you have your phone and it's like, look at what I'm doing, y'all. Like, are you really having fun? Or do you need to does your fun consist of who sees you? I'm curious about that. Like, does your fun consist of who sees you? Right now, if I say, you know what, let me look down this thing right here. Hey, you and me, we going on a flight, Drew. We out of here, right? And every time we sit down, it's like, look at me, y'all. Look at me. I'm eating carrots. Carrots. I like carrots, first of all. But I'm just saying, look at me, y'all. Look at me, right? So, does your fun consist of who sees you? And I think as you get older, you start to realize that, you know what, I'm in this moment. I'm enjoying this time. And I think that once you deal with a person like that, whoo, that's a different type of relationship. That's a different level of maturity. But as long as you're dealing with the guy that has to do the selfie, you're dealing with the female that has to do the selfie. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with selfies. I'm saying when it's a constant thing, everyone needs to know your every move. Like, everything that you did that night, there's a picture of it. Everything you ate, everything you drunk, the conversation you had, everything is online for people to view. And I just feel like some things are sacred. Something needs to be like intimate. But I think that a lot of people right now, they don't live in an intimate situation. Everything has to be public. Somebody says facts, the older you get, the more introverted you become. Definitely, to a certain degree. Definitely, to a certain degree. Like I really enjoy my time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you, I guess you guys can't see it, but I mean, I like to, come into the office and just, sit down and create and talk and, do whatever it is that I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not with my little one. So it's definitely cool. It's definitely a cool thing to do. But I think that, a lot of people, they're so busy trying to be seen, and a lot of people that's being seen don't have nothing to say. Like I noticed that with social media, a lot of people that want to like, okay, I'm gonna make a channel and whatever case may, and I give you the benefit of the doubt. I listen, and I'm like, what are you saying? Like, do you believe this? That what you're saying? Like, do you believe it? And I'm telling you, I'll be trying to call them out, like, hey, da, 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 da. But again, nobody's perfect. Everybody's trying to do the best that they can do. Everybody's trying to figure out a game plan on, how to be successful to the degree that they want to be successful with. And it's very difficult to find a partner that is going to support that success, support that run. You know what I'm saying? I think that, people they talk a good game. They start off, hey, really motivated about what it is that you're trying to do. But eventually, you know what I'm saying, the consistency level is not there. So yeah. So what's something else we got? Let me see. That's why I'm taking a break from Facebook too much sometimes. Definitely. Definitely. That was my hiatus when I actually did it 2 years ago. That was my hiatus. So I can kind of reset and kind of look at what's going on. Another good topic is social media depression. Wow. Wow. Um, let me get some more water. Let me get some more water. I wish I could bring you in on this thing. I don't know how to bring you in, but I don't think you could bring people in on this thing, huh? Um, I think social media can be definitely draining. It definitely can be draining. I think if this is something that you pride yourself on doing, in reference to looking at the stories and all of the information that's coming up and trying to keep up with the Joneses, and I think it definitely can be draining. I think that um, I believe that people who take the time to themselves, um, whether you meditate, you do yoga, you walk, I think that it's very uplifting. It's very empowering. It's very centering, and I really appreciate not only a woman but also a man that can take the time and be like, you know what? Let me get to know myself. Let me hear myself breathe, hear myself think, and not be on social media or whatever case be. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. A lot of people are tagging me in a lot of things. I'm seeing a lot more things, and I'm trying to be consistent on my channel. But I really do try to pride myself on just taking some time to really think, because it can be overwhelming. And for those people who especially if you don't have thick skin, because social media, it can, whoa, savage, savage, savage. Like, I mean, so you have to have a certain level of thick skin when you're dealing with social media. It definitely. Some people uh, show their whole lives on social media. Definitely, it's jarring. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's look at me. It's the look at me generation, and you got to understand that everyone wants someone to validate them, whether they say it or not. Everybody wants a certain level of appreciation, whether they say it or not. So even if I do, let's say I do a blog or whatever, and I say, hey, hit like, yada 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 yada. That shows that you guys are, understanding what I'm saying. You guys are supporting the channel or the podcast or whatever case may be. So everybody wants some type of appreciation or validation or whatever case may be. I think when you're obsessed with it, I think that's what becomes problematic. You got to realize that, what I'm saying, social media is just what it is, entertainment. What I'm saying? And some people, take it a step further where they start projecting their lives through social media. And then others actually find people that's credible on social media, whether to have a conversation with, whether to share thoughts and ideas with. So, I'm not going to say that it's all bad. I'm just going to say that you have to be mindful of what you're doing and the type of person, what I'm saying, you are. So, everyone, I appreciate it. Everyone hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. All right, y'all got me for 10 more minutes. So, what we going to do? What we going to talk about? Let me see. Um, Hey Mario, let's talk about Gina Warren, aka Mayor of the Indiana, murdered by men. I think you missed that. I actually just did a whole video on that sweetie pot thing. I didn't know much about that, so I had to do some research on that or whatever case be. It's definitely saddens me when I don't want to just say black people, you know what I'm saying? But when it's so much like ingrained corruption, like, okay, I'm gonna get my nephew murdered, I'm gonna get my cousin murdered over this money and this life insurance policy. I just I don't know. That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just kind of being sensitive about the situation or whatever the case may be. But I mean that situation just rubs me the wrong way. It just rubs me the wrong way or whatever. You know, definitely. Um, yeah. But so let me ask you guys, like, what are some things when money and greed involved? Yeah, what I'm saying. I'm telling you guys that people can be ruthless, cutthroat. It's people that you rock with, you've been supporting, you've been helping, and the next thing you know, they plotting against you or whatever it case be. I would tell you guys to always have a base and a backup. Have a base and a backup. Because somebody that what I'm saying could say, hey, I love you, I love you, I love you. And in the back, they're the same one stabbing you in your back. So I would tell you, have a base and a backup. Have a base and a backup plan. Because if social media shows you anything, it shows you that, not only dealing with police, but dealing with family and friends, dealing with frenemies, what I mean? Naysayers, toxic people. The narrative is, I'm going to act like I'm your friend. I'm going to act like I'm your coworker. I'm going to act like this and act like that. But in the background, they're really plotting on you. So have a base, have a backup. Teach your children that. Teach your children that. What I'm saying? Never get caught out there, especially in relationships. What I'm saying? Especially when you move in with somebody. What I'm saying? Never put yourself in a position where you're relying on them to pay the rent or whatever. Don't put yourself in a position that you're gonna be fucked over. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Mario, I'm so happy for your channel is growing. And yeah, it seems like it's growing a little bit. I think it's that Jada Pickett video. Honestly, people are kind of catching wind of that, and a lot of people said they like the commentary on there, and I appreciate it. It's definitely my opinion. Um, I think a lot of people kind of got the wrong idea in reference to it was a Bash Jada session. It really wasn't a Bash Jada session. I like Jada Pickett. I like Jada Pickett since what was that movie called? Definitely Jason's Lyric, but I think it was the what is it? Not Poetic Justice, was it? I think it was Poetic Justice, but was it? I don't know. I don't know, but um, yeah, I always thought that she was pretty cool. Definitely a roundaway, female, whatever case be. I like the fact that she was natural. I don't know. She just really stuck out to me. I thought her and Will definitely make a good couple. But I just felt that situation. I think people were kind of looking at it one side and was like, "Oh, she's a celebrity, so I'm riding." And it's so interesting to me. But you know what? It's really not that interesting to me. I think that celebrities are alter egos. Like for the people that really was riding with Jada Pickett, what Jada Pickett did was what they would do, or their alter ego would do. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, it's like, well, it's their alter egos. Like, girl, shit, if I can fit in that goddamn leopard, blah blah, for that tiger, it's their alter egos, and that's why people kind of applaud certain things that celebrities do. And I get it. I definitely get it. I get it. But yeah, so I mean, I think it was because that video. I think that video kind of went YouTube viral, if you want to say. But I think other people have kind of looked at other videos and was kind of like, wow, I'm really kind of getting something from this. So I really appreciate y'all rocking with me. I appreciate y'all liking and sharing. But I'm hoping that you guys just listening right now, go check out some videos and tell me what you think. I also I cover relationships. I talk about politics. I talk about battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of back and forth with the battle rap. Y'all make sure y'all check out Delicate Jewel's page. She's definitely somebody that y'all need to be on the lookout for. A lot of great content. She's a part of the Wave Gang. So y'all make sure y'all go check her out. Delicate Jewel. She's in the comments. So y'all go check her out. Like her page. Support her page. She's definitely been consistent with supporting me. So I definitely appreciate that. Salute. So I got 5 more minutes, y'all. What we gonna talk about? August got tangled and made a whole CD, and I'm gonna be honest with you. August played it smart. I'm gonna be real with y'all. August said, "You know what, man? I'm about to make me some money off this whole entanglement situation. I'm about to drop this music, and I think it was smart. I'm gonna be, you know, what's so funny about the situation? Since Will and Jada have an open relationship anyway, wouldn't it be cool if they all got together and was like, check this out. Me and Will gonna do the red table. August, I want you to do this. And all of them was in cahoots with each other, whatever case be. So while we saying it's an entanglement and blah, 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 it was all planned in the first place. It was all planned in the first place or whatever, and maybe, who knows? It's like, hey, we gonna relaunch your music career, to put you back where you need to be. So Hollywood is tricky. Like, it's tricky. I'm not a part of Hollywood, but if it's anything like the movies that we watch, you got to think about it. We got Avatar, Men in Black. We got all of these astronomical movies where the plot is so decisive. It's so intricate. Why couldn't they do that? You know what I'm saying? And drop a video like, yeah, definitely. I think that might have been planned. I think that might have been, something coerced a little bit, because they did it kind of fast. You went from red table to video with Rick Ross, like, like the fuck, like, god damn, that's, so I don't know, something to think about. Definitely. But again, I hope that, you guys get a chance to check out my other videos. I think that I do have a message. I think that that's what I've been blessed with, to kind of provide some type of common denominator between the left and right. And I'm not talking about political parties. I'm talking about those people that want to divide men and women, those people that want to keep men on one side and keep women on one side, whether they black women, black men, white men, et cetera, Hispanic, et cetera. But keep that division, because they found a niche and they make money off of it. There's a lot of people on YouTube, that, first of all, a lot of trolls. Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm thinking people just, like, seriously, I see people make comments, and I'm like, before I even respond or delete or block, like, I go to the page and, like, page created 3 seconds ago. 3 seconds ago, like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, like, people get off on that. So yeah, I guess that's a way to empower themselves or whatever. But I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But these trolls are real, man. They real, like, they real. But listen, I want y'all to do me a favor. I got a couple people looking right now. Thank you for the thumbs up. Go check out the other videos. You know what I'm saying? Scroll back a little bit, check out the other videos, and let me know, if I'm hitting on something, or if I need to do more videos, because I'm actually trying to find my niche. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to talk more to men? Do I need to talk more to women? Or do I need to keep it straight down the line or whatever? I really feel like I want to be the common denominator. I want to do something that a lot of people don't do. I don't want to empower women to hate men. I don't want to empower men to hate women. And I definitely don't want to have a racial divide. Like, let's talk about white people all the time. Let's talk, like, to me, because I know a lot of good people. Like, if you can see behind, I don't know if y'all can see behind me, but I know a lot of different nationalities and races, so it would be hypocritical for me to steadily bash one race or steadily bash women. You know what I'm saying? That's not. I don't want to come up like that. And I'm sure, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm sure that if I decided to ride a niche, like, oh, let's empower men and devalue women and vice versa, I'm sure there will be people out there that like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually see that on social media. And those are channels I unsubscribe from. I don't follow. I don't think about. But it saddens me that those channels are out there, and it saddens me that people like that stuff. You know, they make fake pages to go watch that stuff because I believe if people see that stuff at their jobs, at their church, if their family members seen it, I think that they probably would judge them and say, "You sorry mother," like seriously, you know. But ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Until next time, I try to be consistent with these lives. A lot of people was like, "We want to know who Mario J is." So again, please check out the other videos. Hit like. Leave me some feedback. I'll jump in the comments after this or whatever it be. You guys have an excellent night or an excellent morning, wherever you at, depending on your time zone or whatever it be. Thank you for rocking with me. It's been fun. Y'all stay blessed. And again, make sure y'all dog up. Peace out.